Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, the Radfords, right? Can't get away from them. They're everywhere. And I mean literally everywhere. You know, like they have 22 kids and counting. I know. But even those kids, now the older ones, also have kids. So they are breeding. They are breeding this army of Radfords throughout the northwest of England. So if you are up that way, just beware, right? You may run into a Radford or a descendant of such. Or a cross between them, because the way they look. Yeah, I'm not saying anything more, right? Okay. It may have something to do with Noel and Sue's you know, like the age thing. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that if you have sex with a 13-year-old, you know, it's going to turn out with kids like this, right? But it's probably something to do with the way that they're brought up. Today we're going to be talking about Millie Radford, who seems to be having a lot of issues of late with trying to cope with the 3 kids that she has. Who knew that having 3 kids under the age of 3 by the time you're 22 was going to be a bit of a hassle, you know? I know who should have known. Her mother. Yeah, her mother also had 3 kids under the age of 3 and didn't happen to inform Millie of how difficult it was going to be, but apparently it is, and it's got to the stage apparently where it is really tough for her, and it's becoming a bit dangerous for the kids.
Chester is definitely the mischievous one.
Apologies for the audio sound on this one. You know, I had to do a bit of a workaround because Channel 5, they don't like you to rip off their stuff. Believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe that Channel 5 would be so defensive when it comes to, you know, issues of the law, you know, such as using a predator to, you know, yeah, anyway, you get the picture, right? So I've had to do a bit of a workaround. Audio sounds shit, but it is what it is.
My mum always told me when I was pregnant with Elodie, she was like, your third just literally slots them.
I do actually recall Sue saying that to her. You know, once you have your third, it'll just slot into your family, you know? It'd be nice and easy, nice and cozy, comfortable and everything. She also said, well, Millie said, if I remember rightly, that she was never going to have a big family because, you know, she was done with all that because it was, you know, she grew up in such a big family. She saw how her mother coped or didn't cope with the situation, and she didn't enjoy it. But, yeah, she said that she was going to stop with 2, possibly 3. I'm not quite sure, but she didn't want a big family, and it turns out now she has 3 before the age of 22. So God knows how many she's going to end up with, right? Insane. It's like the Radfords are breeding. It's like a sport.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be easy.
For once, Sue was wrong.
For once, Sue was wrong. The only time in life she's ever been wrong. I love how Channel 5 make out that Sue is this like super mum. In fact, they all do, don't they, on the newspapers and everything. Super mum Sue with 22 kids. But it's not even true, is it? I mean, they have all these kids, but they don't, you know... Come on, the older ones are teaching the younger ones and looking after the younger ones. It's not Sue that's looking after 22 kids, right? She's not even paying for 22 kids. We all know that the kids are paying for the 22 kids. And as much as I dislike Noel, he does have his own little pie shop, you know, in the corner of Morecambe over there. He has a pie shop, and he pays his way a little bit. Not entirely. It's the kids mainly that because, as we know, the pies don't bring in the money. I was looking for something that rhymed with pies and didn't quite happen. So
Millie may love her little ones, but managing 3 so young is proving a problem.
Chester!
No.
Millie, how hard is it right now?
hard to watch all three.
Who would have thought it? It's very difficult to watch 3 children under the age of 3. That's why it's so hard, because they're all so young, right? What happens usually when you have multiple kids, right? You space them out a little bit, so it makes it more manageable, because you need to give all your young children maximum attention so that they don't like burn the house down or something like that, right? So you wait until one's a little bit older, they can maybe look, they don't need as much looking after, and then you can have another one. But when you have 3 that are that young, it kind of becomes a little bit more unmanageable, a bit more difficult. Some people can do it, obviously, but obviously you can't, can you, Millie?
Eyes in your back of your head at all times. Going from 1 to 2, I found that okay. It wasn't too bad. But going from 2 to 3, that was definitely hard.
1-year-old Chester is proving the biggest challenge.
You could take your eyes off Chester for a split second and he'll be up to no good. No! Tea time is normally the worst time because Chester is really hyper, sick at nursery.
With 2 others needing her care, Millie's struggling to provide the attention Chester needs.
Stop it, because you're not the swing. Everyone refers to him as a Wreck-It Ralph child,
Yeah, I don't really like that term. Calling your child a Wreck-It Ralph type child, that's quite... I think it's quite nasty. I'm not gonna lie. I do. I think that it's quite insulting to the child. If he has issues with, whatever, that's on the parents, right? Sort it out. It's down to you. You had the child. You sort the child out. Don't put labels on him like that.
Barrel. Chester, where's Ellie's dummy? My iron's up there now because the iron used to stay in this cupboard. It now doesn't because turning my back for 2 minutes with Chester, got a funny smell. He's plugged the iron in.
Is he really? He's a card, isn't he, that Chester, right? he'll have the house up in smoke in no time, isn't it? Or he could be in the hospital, right? Oh, he's such a laugh, isn't it? Yeah, it's dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. That's why you don't plug irons in around kids, right? Because it can be very dangerous. Putting it up high is an option. In fact, you should do that exclusively with all the things that could damage a child, right? Just saying, it is something that has been passed down from generation to generation, that you should keep things locked away that could damage a child should they get their hands on it, right? So what shall we do here? The actual clip on the show was ridiculous, in my opinion. They had Millie turned one direction doing the cooking, and behind her they allowed the child to get the iron and go and plug it in. If that was planned, a setup, a ruse, if you like, by the television crew, that is absolutely insane, right? Because I'm not buying that child just happened, on the off chance that he could get their hands on the iron, he went and took the iron, went to the plug and plugged it in. I'm not buying that at all, right? How long did they have to wait with the camera crew set up in order to get that footage? Did they just wait there until he did it? No, they told him to go and do it. Here's the iron, guy. Here's the iron. Do what you want with it. And he went to plug it in. Or was it, here's the iron. See that plug socket? Yeah, go and plug that in and we'll film you and we'll give you a treat afterwards, right? You can have a sweetie if you go and plug it in there. That is absolutely ridiculous. I absolutely believe that Channel 5 themselves did that and allowed that to happen and made that happen, incentivized the child to go and plug an iron in, which is absolutely, it is so wrong, in fact, that I can't believe that I'm even having to explain how wrong that actually is. Insanity.
No!
definitely finding having 3 children with quite small age gaps challenging. But I remember when I had mine and they were like very close in age, and I had like...
Well, of course yours are close in age, Sue. You've had 22 of them, right? You've had 22, so they would have had to have been close in age. Otherwise, you know, you'd have been giving birth, like, say if it was once every 2 years as a minimum, that's like 40 odd years you'd have been giving birth for. So they'd have to be a little bit close in age in order to fit them all in.
3 under 3, oh my goodness.
Some days are alright, but 9 times out of 10, they're obsessed with the Chester.
What's the hardest thing about being 3?
Everything. I literally think everything. I don't think anything could have actually prepared me for this.
Wasn't that a lovely thing to admit to on TV? On national TV, in fact, there's thousands of people watching this right now, and she's just said, oh, by the way, you 3 kids, right, you're the worst thing that's ever happened to me. So there's nothing that could have prepared me for this. It's so bad that, you know, I just want to chuck it all in. I'm going to give them, in fact, I'm going to palm them off to my mother because she's got 22. She's lost a few who've left home. She needs replacements. She can have them. If she takes them to Disney, that would be great. Yes, mother, take my kids to Disney with you next time because I need a break, right? Leave me at home with the abuser. Right, so... Anyway, yeah, that was stressful, wasn't it? Listening to Millie get all worked up. Or was it me that was getting worked up? What the hell? It was stressful. Yeah, I was stressed watching that anyway. Millie is struggling so much. Channel 5 are endangering kids now. It's all going off up there at the 22 Kids and Counting headquarters, isn't it? So until next time, please give this video a massive thumbs up. Comment all of your thoughts about it down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.